Hi kids, I'm back with you for the next part of the Muddleheaded Wombat, our class book. So this is video number two, I should say. And in the first bit of the book, we met the wombat and we learnt that he was a little bit lonely, but then he met a little mouse. So let's see what happens now. Having a look at the pictures on this page, I can see the mouse is sitting in the wombat's hat. And over here, he's talking to him. So let's see what happens. Wombat was very interested in his new friend. I can see you're a mouse. Are you like the mouses that live in houses? Oh, certainly not. The mouse's nose turned red as a radish with indignation. I'm a fat-tailed, pouched bush mouse, and don't you forget it. Wombat didn't have to ask the mouse to come and live with him and share his adventures. The mouse liked Wombat. It liked his stumpy paws and his muddled up whiskers. It decided it might as well live in his big straw hat as anywhere else. The mouse scooted up Wombat's arm and under his hat. The next moment, its long pink nose stuck out through the hole in the front. Oh, what a lovely view there is from up here, Wombat. That's all very well, Mouse, but it's not my hat, you know. I have to give it back to the old wooden man that I've pushed over. But we know, boys and girls, don't we, that that wooden man was actually the Scarecrow. Wombat trundled back to the paddock to see whether the old wooden man had got up again. There he was, the silly old fellow, still lying on the ground. Come on, up you get, don't sulk. He tugged at the Scarecrow's yellow glove, and all at once the wooden man came to pieces. His straw stuffing fell out. His sugar bag waistcoat came off, and his wooden arms clattered to the ground. There was nothing left but his goggly painted face on the end of a broomstick. Wombat's eyes almost popped out. Oh, Mouse, look what your wombat has done. I've killed him, dead as dead can be. Now, you can't do that to a wooden man, answered the mouse, calmly polishing its glasses with the end of its tail. And besides, the farmer is coming, so you'll be able to explain. The farmer wasn't cross. He said the old Scarecrow needed to be pulled down anyway. He didn't mind if Wombat took away the old straw hat. Oh, Wombat was happy, and Mouse was happy. Mouse was so happy that it decided to give Wombat a little present. I hope it's a banana, said Wombat. No, it's this, said Mouse. And it took out of its pouch something small and silvery. Wombat put it up close to his eyes, and then he held it away as far as he could, like this. Still, he couldn't make out what it was. Silly, said Little Mouse. It's for music. It's a mouth organ. Wombat lay down on his back and kicked his short legs in the air for joy. He had never seen anything quite as cute as this tiny, tiny mouth organ. Then Mouse played a bar or two of music. It was as high and thin as the music that crickets make. And then Mouse said it would teach Wombat to play if he'd stand up and stop kicking. Take a breath, Wombat, and make a good big noise. So he did. He took a deep breath and he blew, and the mouth organ gave a beautiful squawk. Then he drew in his breath again, and this time the mouth organ went with it. It vanished altogether inside his mouth. He heard it give a sad little squeak as it arrived somewhere inside him under the last button of his cardigan. There's a picture, and I reckon he's just swallowed that little mouth organ, silly old Wombat. Mouse was furious. It wasn't very good mannered of you to swallow my present, Wombat. Wombat hadn't meant to swallow it. What good was it down there? He felt very sad. Then he noticed that every time he breathed, the mouth organ made a musical sound. Do you know what, Mouse? Soon I'll be able to play a tune on my breath. The mouse glared at him. That means a really angry stare, like, whoa. But don't you see, Mouse? If I can play a tune on my breath and sing a song, then people might give us pennies. And Mouse, we could save up and buy a bike. with red wheels?" asked the mouse, who liked to get everything straight. So it was agreed. They found a little town and a street and a corner, and there they stood, blushing and twiddling their paws and trying not to mind when people stared at them. The mouse held Wombat's ankle tightly. It was nervous lest one of those big shoes passing by should tread on it. Wombat knew a tune. It was "My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean," and it sounded like this. "My Bonnie lies over the ocean, my Bonnie lies over the sea. Oh, please won't you hear my commotion and give lots of pennies to me." It's a funny song, isn't it? And then he took off his hat and trundled around amongst the crowd. He got 4 pennies and 5 threepences and 1 creamy toffee, which he liked even more than the coins. He and Mouse were very happy. They thought they would be able to save up for their bike very quickly. But then along came a policeman. And here's the picture on that page. They've gotten some coins for their busking, but we'll have to see what happens when the policeman comes along. So we'll leave the book here for today. I'll put our bookmark in and we can read a bit more on Monday. Thanks for listening, boys and girls.